In this video, we're going to be looking at the raised garden bed tour for September of 2024. And this is the third part of 3 parts I do each month of the garden tours in our property. And yeah, let's get right on with some stuff.
Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave.
So hello and welcome to Bowtie Life. You probably heard in the last little second of that intro that my neighbor started up his mower. I thought he was done. He wasn't. I had to wait a little bit longer, but here we are again. We're going to try again. And let's see, we need to talk about a few things real quick before we get started. First off, production for the next month is going to be hinky. I've been warning about this for a few weeks now. And the videos are not coming out quite as frequently as they have been, and that is because Mrs. Bowtie and I are heading on a different kind of project, and we will share with you in probably about the beginning of November when things are more stable and we can show you properly. And so that's going to be the next month. Don't worry about us, we are fine. And we will have we'll still have the October tours to look forward to, but yeah, so that's production notes. The next thing is the weather. The weather today, it is 90 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 32.2 Celsius. It is a warm day. We are excited because the water temperature, okay, so I've been talking about water temperature because we're surrounded by water. We have the big Choctawhatchee Bay on the north side of us and the Gulf of Mexico on the south side of us. They're each less than a mile away, and the water temperature in those bodies of water affect our weather a lot. They keep it very stable. However, as of last week, the temperature had dropped a degree. Now the temperature has dropped 3 degrees Fahrenheit. And the water temperature here is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what, 29 degrees Celsius? No. Yeah, about 29 degrees Celsius, roughly thereabouts. And so our weather is cooling dramatically. Now, it's 90 today. We have had some really beautiful weather in the mid-80s. We're talking about the mid-80s. They're very comfortable weather. And we've actually had a couple of days in the past week that did not even hit 80s, which was wonderful. Yesterday I worked out by the water. In fact, here's a little snippet of a video of a boat that screamed past us. I don't know what was going on out there, but while I was out there building that fence, there was a big, huge $100 million yacht surrounded by a bunch of these types of boats screaming up and down the waterway, all escorted by a black helicopter. It was very interesting. I have no idea what was going on. That's living at the coast, folks. And so, yeah, the weather was beautiful. The humidity was only 61%. And I know some people say that's high humidity. That is extremely low humidity for us here on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Panhandle. And it felt, oh, wonderful, so wonderful. And I worked a little longer than I usually do. Normally I don't work, I haven't been able to work a full day out in the heat because it's been so hot. I'm not a young fella anymore, and it gets to me, so I have to kind of pace myself. But it is getting nicer out, so the weather is changing, and that is wonderful. Our next our next week, there is the potential of a hurricane blowing up in the Gulf right now. There's a low coming across from the Yucatan into the Gulf, and I don't know if it's going to develop. No one knows if it's going to develop. At one point, it was coming right over us as a major hurricane. But folks, those forecasts are so far out, they don't really know for more than 3 days. They can't be sure. And so we've been around hurricanes a lot. I don't believe it's going to hit Destin. I believe it's going to go either east or west of us. And between you and me, I'm pretty sure it's going to go into Louisiana, maybe as far as Texas, maybe as close as Mobile. I'm not sure yet. But That's my gut feeling right now with the research I've done, and I'm just a layperson weather lover. So again, this is our property in Destin, Florida, the Panhandle. We're between Panama City and Pensacola, and almost dead center. Yeah, so we have some great weather. We live right in the middle of town. You can see in this map here, we live on a 100-foot wide by 106-foot deep property, and we are trying to grow as much as we can on here. We're not fully self-sustainable. We just enjoy growing some of our own food. Mrs. Bowtie helps out here on occasion, and this is primarily my area out here in the garden, though. Let's see. I think that's all I wanted to cover. We're going to have the little map as usual of the backyard here. Now, here's the backyard, and in the middle of this backyard we have our raised bed area to my left, to your right, and we're going to pop this out of the map of the backyard that you would have seen in the outer garden bed tour just not long ago, and we're going to take this and put it down in the corner. We're going to put this little icon, this circle with an arrow. The circle represents where the camera is. The arrow represents the direction the camera is pointing, so that you have an idea of where we are and where the camera is, and the camera is right there right now. So there goes the little icon right in the location. You're actually located between the blackberry arbor and the pomegranates that you saw at the beginning of the outer garden bed tour, and the GreenStalk. And yes, we have a GreenStalk here. One little hint coming up in a month, in 2 months, we have something else coming up with GreenStalk. There's nothing sponsored here. These are GreenStalks we bought on our own, but I really have enjoyed seeing what this can do. This has really become more experimental right now. There is not a lot of change in here. The biggest thing that I am doing is I'm letting these strawberries grow and proliferate, because I need to have strawberries for the future. So it does look a little bit rough, I know. That's a strawberry right there. I'm just sticking in the soil because, yes, I am trying to proliferate my strawberries again. I don't know how many have survived in the beds. As we go along here, we can kind of keep an eye out to see if we see any. I really haven't looked for any strawberries. I planted a bunch of these strawberries from Walmart seeds throughout the garden, as we are getting rid of the strawberry patch in the front yard. And so of course the parsley has reseeded itself and is going everywhere. Get my shadow out of the way. This let me pull out just a minute ago. This leaf flower is a common weed we have that I pull out a lot of, and it's very, very common here. So anyway, I just try to keep things ahead in here. I really haven't had a plan for this yet, but we do have the strawberries. We have some parsley. We have what is this? I think this is either the cauliflower or broccoli. I think this is a cauliflower that maybe has reseeded itself, or it is just continuing from previous. I've got a couple of things coming up, and now this one here is a cauliflower. I remember that, and I chopped it off, and it doesn't grow anymore, of course. But yeah, so there's a kale down there with the tiny leaves. The leaves did say small on that. I wasn't sure how it would do in the GreenStalk. The kale's the dino kale is a pretty big plant, and it needs more space. So we're coming around here to the bed number 1, and of course we start off with some zinnias that I've just let go rampant in here. I love showing this every single time. This is the zinnias as they're looking beautiful. I wish I had my camera out not 20 minutes ago and I saw a hummingbird out here, but I love propagating these. I mean, break that off. Trying not to lose. Oh, hey, there you are. Trying not to lose this, but this is a deadhead, and what I just did is called deadheading. And when you take a dead head like that and just break it up the seeds, it will replant those zinnias. And we still have enough time in the season. We could get another round of zinnias in here. I love breaking up those dead heads and putting new flat seeds in the soil so that they will grow up again. So yeah, zinnias. We do have a cucumber plant growing here, and we'll have to find out what the fate of the cucumber is. It is just about to start putting out buds. And you can see right there, there's a place where some buds are going to come out from in the joint where everything joins together. There's another place. So this thing should start producing. Remember, we had something digging around down in here, and we've had the have a heart trap out. I've been using it a lot. It has not caught anything yet. So yeah, we'll have to continue that journey. But something has been digging, has dug up a lot of my other cucumbers in here. And of course you can see there the path. The path has not been mowed because I have blackberries growing all through there. And we have another crop in here that I'm waiting to pull out. And all these leaves here are ginger. Now the thing, whatever has been digging up bits of my ginger. In fact, if I look down here, you can see that's all ginger right there. Growing huge. It's still growing new ones though. This is another ginger root growing. This is another ginger root growing out of another one of these little hunks of ginger. And so it is still growing, so I'm not going to worry about it. From my recollection, when they're exposed to the light, they don't get toxic like potatoes do. So we will be harvesting this ginger here sometime in the near future. I'm imagining it is going to happen in November. We'll have to see. Now, last month, if you were watching, you saw we had cousin No-Tie Mark visiting us, and I showed him the next thing that we're going to look at here. Go around that through there, right next to that tree. Got one more little first impression straight ahead of the flower.
Yeah. Gosh, that's beautiful.
It really is. It's turmeric.
Really?
There's a we're going to be digging this up next Saturday on video.
What are you going to do with it?
It's going to be a lifetime supply of turmeric is what it's going to be.
Yeah. Where are you going to put it?
Going to give some away, and
okay,
you'll get some. You're the chef.
Yeah, turmeric, definitely. Very pretty flower.
It really is. I'm wondering if any of these others will do it. There's a lot of ginger back in there too.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm going to have a lifetime supply of turmeric.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, this you just never know when something you put out just goes boom.
I know.
And then other things, you know, it's like, wow, how come?
Yeah, right.
Why didn't it take?
Right.
But most everything you touch.
No.
Explodes.
This year has been horrible. My okra's dead over here.
What happened to the okra? It
Yeah,
was going
right?
like gangbusters
Yeah.
last time I saw it.
Well, come over here and you can see that right there is my seed stock for next year.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there's a whole slew of them up there. All right, so that's going to be the conclusion of this segment of First Impressions.
I'm blown away.
So yes, this turmeric plant, and this whole plant here, that is one turmeric. And I want to get in here and I want to dig it out. Just this one plant. These flowers are amazing. I just cannot believe what we've had here. We've got spider web right there with a spider in it. We're going to have to disturb him. There's other turmeric plants in here. So, looky here, looky here, looky here. I am so excited to see another one. Here's another one of these flower stalks coming out. I've been watching for this and I have missed it. Look at that flower stalk coming out of the turmeric. Oh my goodness, that is just, that is so cool. So, yes, I want to get in here and dig this out and see what is, because I have a feeling there is a lifetime supply of turmeric under this one plant. Now, folks, this is my third year growing turmeric. The first 2 years I grew turmeric that was left here by the previous owner of this house. It's never been this big. In fact, it's never been bigger than that ginger plant standing right next to it. So I didn't know it got this big. However, I do now know, and like that right there, that's turmeric. Can you see that? And look, it's already growing shoots, getting ready to start again. So some of this turmeric is going to go down to the church building. It will be a beautiful plant to add down there and grow continually. We like to grow stuff that grows good, but underneath here, turmeric is a root. And so underneath here, and I don't know how deep this goes. I do know it's probably pretty big, but I don't know how deep it is. And you want to take your fork, and you see I'm staying as far away from the base as I can. I don't want to skewer the roots underneath there real bad, as minimally as I can. Oh, there's another plant right there. Okay, I am hitting a lot of something under there. I'm trying to slowly get underneath it, and I have a feeling we're going to do some major damage down here, and it's not going to be something I choose. It's just going to happen. So I think I've got it a little loose. I'm going to see if I can roll this up. Okay, and oh wow, so this is how turmeric grows. These are hands. They're called hands of turmeric because they look like fingers. And if I pull away the dirt and the roots, it didn't grow as deeply as I thought. Now, I did not let this thing fully flower. I am going to let the rest of the turmeric fully. Now, let me make sure there's nothing else down here. Okay, so it kind of grew sort of shallow. Okay. Not as much as I thought was going to be in here, but still, that's a couple years supply for me, if not more. So, yeah, this is turmeric, and we'll get this cleaned up. In fact, let me go see if I can hose this off and get this some of this dirt taken off here and some of these excess roots, so you can actually see what's on there. So yeah, there it is. Massive plant. And look at all the turmeric on here. You can even see the orange down there. Look, some of these roots are already producing other plants, getting ready to shoot out some more plants for the season. So all this is turmeric. These are fingers of turmeric. They break off. You can see the orange in there. That is that's the turmeric right there. And so we'll take some of these down to the church building and grow them there. But this thing is enormous. I'm just in awe of it. And this flower, of course, is just absolutely amazing. There is a lot of turmeric there, folks. A lot of it. I don't know about a lifetime supply. I thought it was going to go deeper, and if I had let this go longer, it probably would have been about twice as deep and probably twice as much, which is why we're going to let the rest of the turmeric fully develop. So that's my first harvesting of the massive turmeric. That turmeric actually came from a local store. It's an organic turmeric from an organic market here locally, and I put it in a pitcher because I'm curious to see if that flower has any longevity. I have no idea about this, and of course the best way to find out about these things is just to try, experiment. Can't be afraid to experiment. So the blackberries I mentioned earlier are growing everywhere. You can see here they are getting massive. This one here is already, what, 12 feet long? And, oh, even longer than that because it goes in over there somewhere. So, yeah, maybe 12 feet long. But I will be getting in here once we take care of some of this in here. I'll get that path mowed in the middle, and we will be getting our blackberries all set up to string across to the other side. The okra patch. Now the okra seemed to be failing a little bit early this year. I'm not sure why. I asked gardener Scott about it, and I told him about how I know we're in all compost, and he theorized that maybe it was the fact that we're in rich compost. It's too much for it. It's been growing like this is the third year now, but I am keeping some up here for seed, and that's my seeds for next year growing right there. And I will be harvesting those here in about 2 weeks, and we will let those dry out. And you can actually see right there, that one at the top is starting to dry out. I need to get up there and cut that thing before it loses its seeds. This patch here is where we had cauliflower and broccoli over the winter, and I've just kind of let it go. There are blackberries growing all through here, and they will be coming up this trellis, stretching across the pear tree right here, which will be getting topped off. And yeah, so that will be the day I fix up the blackberries. Maybe we'll have a video on it. And you do want to be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss any videos that we have coming out. I try to put a video out every 3 or 4 days. With our production changes here in the next month or so, like I mentioned at the beginning, that's going to be a little bit different. The solitary bee box is idle, completely idle, and almost completely cleaned out. So I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to make another one. Oh, look, right up at the top. Look, his little nose is sticking out right there. Oh, that's hilarious. Maybe that's why we don't have any solitary bees. He's been cleaning them up, hadn't he? No, I don't know. Anyway, so this right here, okay, folks, I have talked about Luffa a lot this year. I know, tons and tons about the Luffa. So this right here is a little Luffa. You're going to be seeing more videos. Again, be sure to subscribe because there's a lot of videos about Luffa. And there's going to be a few more coming out. This is a young Luffa. This flower has been pollinated, and this is tender. This is tasty. This replaces the zucchini. You can let this grow up. This is right about the thickness of my thumb. You can let it be about twice that thick, harvest it, and cook it up just like you would a zucchini, and it is delish. If you have trouble growing zucchini, that right there is the replacement, because we have very little pest. I mean, look at these leaves. They're beautiful. Now, this plant has been growing for a long time and is growing. There's another one. I don't know if that's been even opened yet. It grows up this tree. It grows from, see if I can get down here. It grows from across this shade cloth, and go watch some of the other videos about the Luffa and the gourds that are growing off this thing, but they're huge. We'll have a harvest on that. That's actually part of the outer garden bed tour normally, but the fact that it's growing into the raised beds just blows me away. I've been letting these things go this year just to see what they would do, and boy are they doing. We'll go look over there in just a minute, but this is bed number 2. More blackberries all tangled in here. These are a thornless blackberry. Oh, top of that one's, oh, it broke right there. So I need to, oh, and sure enough, see, it broke right there. See that? It broke. And it's shooting out 2 more branches already. They're really going. So I will be taking care of that here in the next week or so. Hopefully there'll be a video. There is a tomato in here that I suspect is an Evergaldes tomato. It volunteered itself in this area. I've trained some of it up that trellis over there, and we're going to let it go. Normally I would have cucumbers growing here, but not now. The beans. The beans are, of course, being overrun by Luffa. Yet again, Luffa. Now this thing here, this is about twice. This right here is perfectly edible. Oh, looky here, he just got himself a bug. I love these lizards. They are just great at taking, he's looking at another one already. They are just great at taking care of bugs. And they don't mind me. This Luffa here is like perfect though. Cut that up and look at it, it's like a foot long. Cut it up, grill it up like a zucchini. That thing is delish. Now, get much bigger than that, much bigger, and the seeds are gonna start forming. There's another small one up there. The Luffa have just been nuts. Absolute. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Can you see the hummingbird? Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He's going up top. He's going up there. Where'd he go? Okay, There's a hummingbird up there. So I just noticed him today. But yes, we have a hummingbird in here. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I need to get our hummingbird feeders out of storage. I had not done that yet. So anyway, the bean trellis. The beans have not produced a single bean. Not a single bean. 16 feet, not a single bean. And I have a feeling the 50% shade cloth on top up here was too much. And it's dying out at the top already and just looking terrible. So yeah, just have to try again next year. We have gotten a lot of beans off this, and yeah, not a single bean off these Blue Lake stringless pole beans. Very shocking. We're going to step right over to the other side right there. So if you've been growing beans and haven't had any luck with them, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear. I know this was my fault. I did something different and I'd used the shade cloth. I think the shade cloth was too much. There is Luffa already growing over to this side of the beans, but on this side, outside of the giant zinnias that we have, we also have our hot peppers, and we have a whole bunch of Peppadew in here. These Peppadew are kind of a mild heat pepper, and some of these need to be picked, but they're good for pickling. They're good for just grilling and serving as a garnish. Wonderful things. We have Thai hots right there. We have another Peppadew, a couple of Cayenne plants in here, and these Cayenne, I should go ahead and harvest them. They are looking monstrous. They're going to be good, and we can dry these or freeze them and use them in something else. I haven't picked a lot of peppers this year. We have picked jalapenos. Look at this one. There's jalapenos ready for that. Ready for picking on that one. There's more Peppadew over here. Yeah, Peppadew is a nice mild pepper. It normally doesn't have a whole lot of heat. This is a bean plant right here that is growing up, and it's growing right through the pepper plants. Actually, those leaves look real healthy. I wonder if maybe... See, I'm not going to pull it out because I want to see if it'll... I'm learning, folks. I'm still learning. So I'm a little dismayed that we might not have beans from the garden this year. Past that, we have our tomato trellis. On this side, we have the Supersweet 100 tomato. We have a couple more Supersweet 100s here. We have a German pink, which is looking a little worse for wear, Jim. This was a gift from him, and it is looking bad. So I don't know that it's going to make it at all. That back there is part of Nebraska Wedding, which has been kind of suffering along. Oh, that's bed number 3. We're not going to do that quite yet. Come back around here. You can see here's a Supersweet 100 that has died. I think I only have one Supersweet 100 here that is still living, but it still has not produced a single tomato. Again, too much shade on the shade cloth. That's the only thing that I've done different this year. On the other side, you can see there's another trellis. That is an Everglades. I'm going to step back over to the other side there. Okay, these things just keep getting bigger. Oh my goodness. We keep thinking it's going to start eating the neighbor's kids if we're not careful. But yeah, this is my Everglades tomato. Now this thing has come and gone and come again and gone again and come again. So, but still, we did have tomatoes on it earlier on. It is a little worse for wear. You can see there's several dead ones here, and the beans are starting to take over, which is what I expected. But we're still waiting for tomatoes for the fall here. Not looking great. So I'm looking to see if there are any. Oh, in fact, I see there were buds there. They didn't develop. They just fell off, apparently. I don't see any more buds. Well, there's some buds trying to develop right there. See if I can zoom you in just a little bit right there. See those buds? Yeah. I don't have a lot of hope for that. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, shade cloth, too much. There is such a thing as too much shade cloth. I didn't believe them, but they were right. This thing is huge. Oh my goodness. This thing is a monster. Good grief. We had a rat eat a watermelon over here. unfortunately. Okay, bed number, oh, well, the aloe patch, aloe is under here. I don't think anything is going to bloom. We did see that aloe about to bloom in the end of the outer garden bed tour. Oop. But these Biden's alba, I'm pulling them out, of course, as often as I feel like it. I don't see any bloom stalks in here. Let's see if there's one down in here. No, I don't see one. So that's okay. That's okay. These bloomed the first year. We didn't have a freeze that year. The year after that, we had the Christmas freeze of 22. This year, we did have freeze. Not much. It was more average. So there's a lot of aloe buried under here, and I'm letting it be buried. Bed number 3. Look at the tabasco. I need to just get in here. Now, folks, I have not harvested a whole lot of these peppers. I have so much hot pepper sauce right now and other stuff. I haven't had the need for it, but look how prolific this tabasco plant is. And even the scotch bonnet next to it is just brimming with peppers. Let me see if I can lift up a branch right here so you can get an idea. You see all the yellow in there? Oh my goodness. Let me get you underneath here. That's just amazing. Jalapenos coming out over there. There's another small jalapeno down in here. There's I think this is a peri. And another peri coming out here. Looking beautiful. What is this we've got underneath here? Oh, mammoth jalapeno, kind of laying over. Look at that. Look at that beautiful jalapeno pepper. Oop, it's got a imperfect spot on it, little sun spot. That's a fatali down there that didn't develop, interestingly. So we have a fallow patch right here. I say fallow. We have a weed covered patch because I didn't do anything with it. So I will be pulling all those weeds out. We did have a couple of Brussels sprouts I was allowing to go to see what they would do over time. They did not impress, so now I know. Okay, back to the Supersweet 100, which actually look pretty good. I do see a lot of buds that are just falling off. Oh, here's a couple of buds over here. See that? We'll have to see if anything develops here. It's got to happen soon because our season is winding down. But yeah, and there is a Nebraska Wedding in the back there, which it does have some leaves growing on it still. That's what's in the back over there. You can barely see. I don't have much hope for it. It's been rough out here this year. The Goji berry, this is the one that I did not trim, so not a lot of good out of there. Well, actually, I say that, and look, there's new buds coming out already. That's kind of cool. So it could still make some goji berries. So yeah, I did want to show you the harvesting of that turmeric. I'm very excited. I'll be cutting those okra seeds down pretty soon as well. Probably have a video on that when the time comes. Be sure to hit like on this video. It does help the channel. I do want to announce, special announcement here, folks. We are monetized, which means there is a thank you button down underneath the videos that you can click, and you can send a thank you gift to us for just to help fund the garden and fund the show and fund the content, and we're very excited about that. For those of you who have subscribed, I thank you. You're my heroes. You have gotten us to this point where we are today, and I am very excited to be able to share this with you and everything that's happening. Comment your experiences, your questions in the comments below. I love hearing from y'all, so be sure to shoot out those comments and let me know how your garden is going. If there's anything that you've seen, if you have any questions about what I've done here, please ask. I try to answer every question, and sometimes it might take me a day or two to figure out the right answer, but I do try to answer every question and send you to places that, oh, looky here. I'm gonna pick this green goji berry. It's a little green goji berry. Can you see that? That's funny. Oh my gosh, too funny. Anyway, what was I saying? Comment. Yeah, I do love hearing your comments and sharing your experiences. It helps me. It helps others. It helps our community. So I did not see any strawberries in the beds, and it's a little discouraging because whatever's been digging around here has been uprooting my strawberries, among other things, which is a little frustrating. I think it might be a possum. It might be rat. Well, I know I've got rats. I've seen rats. But the amount of soil that's been moved, I'm thinking possum or raccoon, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see what we can catch. So that's been a challenge, is catching things. So yeah, coming down to it, we come out with these videos every month. We're coming up on the end of year 3 here in just a few months, and I like to do these exhaustive and incremental garden tours every month. And they're as much for me. Actually, they're more for, I'm making them for me. They're my way to journal, my way to log things going on in the garden, and I use them a lot. I watch my own videos a lot. I watch a lot of other YouTube channels as well, but my videos are really for my information, and you are just so welcome to follow along. And if you learned something, or if you learned me something, I'm happy to get the comments and learn as well from y'all. So please feel free to share your experiences. Really, that's about everything. I'm very excited about how we're going here, and so many of you have decided to join our little community. Last thing I'm going to say is, don't fret about the schedule coming up. You're going to notice that some of these videos, there's going to be a few more days than used to be in the past couple years, because Mrs. Bowtie and I are going in a project in a different direction. We will share with you when the time comes, but we're very excited about what's happening in the next month. So, with all that being said, y'all have a blessed day.